Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we've got,
Well, let's see, we sold one, so I actually have to do the numbers, so we've got station 11, station 12, station 13, 61, 62, 63,
Oh, wow.
65, 68, 69, 70. I think we're at 10 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they all manned or?
Only 4 of them are staff.
Okay, staff, okay.
The rest of them are volunteer call stations.
So they're staffed with equipment?
Yes.
Yeah, just not personnel.
Just not personnel.
Yeah, that one out there looks pretty new that we drive, we're staying out of Semiahmoo, it's, I think it's 62.
62
says
is
on it.
Semiahmoo Station. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's currently vacant. They're trying to come up with ways to staff it. It's a product of a bygone era.
Oh, is it?
Probably, let's see, it's 2018 now, so, about 31 years ago, the city of Blaine received fire services by contract from what used to be Fire District 13.
Okay,
And the incorporated city of Blaine is roughly 6 square miles, but it extends out in just the spit. That little triangle and a small triangle of land is city land.
oh, okay.
So before, the departments were together, then they separated. When they separated, which was 87, January of 87, they had that just covering the Semiahmoo development. The fire station was downtown on H Street, and you'd have to drive out of the city, through the county, back into the city to go to any calls out there.
Oh, really? Okay.
So they built that, they had a smaller, older, it's now a Parks Department building, fire station out there with the pole barn. And they built that station in the early 90s, 93, 94. And then in 98, the city and the district merged again.
Oh,
So the right way to plot things out is, we use GIS where we can actually pinpoint where call volumes are. And the idea is concentric circles, at 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the response distance is. That station was needed when the city had to cover its own area, but now we're there. From Birch Bay, we can get there in just about anywhere in under 8 minutes.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
but we have the asset. It's an affluent community.
So that's probably had a lot to do with putting it out there too, didn't it?
Well, no, I mean,
I mean, just the building of that community out there and stuff, yeah.
it did for the city at the
Yeah.
time, and the split that happened in '87 was very unpleasant between the city and the fire district, and there wasn't even a cordial working relationship.
Wow.
The chief of the fire district at the time was very opposed to assisting the city in any way. So, and I started with the city, so if we needed additional resources to mitigate a large-scale incident, you could ask for the fire district to come, but they probably wouldn't. So at the same time, you skip them and ask the next fire district, and we brought units from Surrey across the border. But now it's kind of redundant, but the building is there and the community sees it, and it doesn't have, there's no pool to draw from. It's seasonal homes or.
So that's voluntary there then, right? Volunteer staffing? Or do they even go there anymore?
No, there are no volunteers in that area.
Okay,
The goal that they're trying to put right now is they're trying to staff it with residents.
oh, okay.
Like college kids that are pursuing a career, hey, live here for free rent utilities in exchange for 4 days of work a month.
Sure, that'd be a good deal for them too.
You would think, except for the fact that the nearest fire-based program is in Skagit County.
Oh,
And to get from Semiahmoo to Mount Vernon is
Like,
probably an
crazy
hour and a
stuff.
half drive.
Yeah.
At a minimum. And now, and so you've got these poor college kids that are now required to commute an hour and a half and pay for fuel and
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah, it's got a difficult situation, yeah.
And our insurance, the district's insurance requires you to be 21 years of age to operate a vehicle, so most of these community college kids are 18 and 19. And the medical training they receive happens in their second year. So they can't really do much, and thus we don't have any yet.
Yeah.
My stuff at home is also from the 69.
I
Are you
just
joining us?
cut.
I am not.
You've been here before.
Yeah,
You
she's
sure you
just
don't
my
want to join
hero.
us again?
Would you like me to join you again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my cup of coffee then.
No, you don't.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding you.
I'm gonna go this way then.
Yeah, you go that way. Well, let's get going on then. We'll jump into this. We can get done in about an hour. That suits you, is that all right?
That's awesome.
Can you put up with me for an hour?
Yep.
Sure it.
You sure?
Yep.
The rest of
I
them
put up with
can't.
him for 24.
Well, yeah, you have a lot more patience than I have. No, I don't even know him. I didn't mean that to you.
You were dead on.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start and, see, we'll be out of here in about an hour. Get you out of here, so. I don't know why they scheduled this program for you. It's one of our popular programs.
That's why right
That's why.
there.
That's right, right there.
Doing my stuff.
I'm learning very quickly here why it's scheduled. No, it's one of our more popular programs. Everybody is requesting this program. This is some of the stuff we're going to talk about. First of all, my name is Charlie Schreck, and this is your new insurance coverage. They're the third-party insurance administrator for the pool you're in, the cities association, something. I don't sell the insurance or anything. I've been with them about 8 years, and I just do this part-time, so. But I understand that you just switched over to this program, so. All this training you get, there's no extra cost. You pay your premiums, and they throw in the training and everything that goes with it. They have attorneys on staff, they have a pre-litigation team. If you get involved in litigation, they'll come in and help you sort things out. A lot of good benefits to it, so I'm not here to sell you insurance, I'm just here to tell you who they are, so. And I'm not an attorney, no legal advice today, okay? Don't ask me any legal questions either, I wouldn't know the answer, but. And anyway, this is what we're gonna talk about. And mostly we'll probably touch more on the bullying and sexual harassment, just because those are the big issues nowadays in the workplace. It's been on the news for what's all these people getting in trouble, all the big wigs, and
Hashtag me too.
everybody's going down the tube and, so what?
Hashtag me too.
So it's and we give this, I give it to law enforcement agencies, I do most of my work with school districts, they get it all the time, you get the same program that everybody else gets, so. Anyway, then we'll touch base in just a little bit on conflict and communicating with respect in the workplace, no big deal. You've heard all this before,
You need to pay attention to that part.
and, who's seniority in here? Who's second?
BF, I've been here longer than you have. When did you get hired on?
In 07.
As a volunteer.
No, in
Oh,
98 as a volunteer.
I started in 06.
Cool, I started in
Oh,
98.
okay. Well, the only reason I asked, I've had a couple of the training sessions where there's a few millennials on your department now, and they give them a bad time the whole session.
No,
all past that.
we're all geriatrics.
Well, yeah, we're all way past that.
All right, well, good, join the club then, huh? All right. We start off with this slide, it's just, you all signed in, didn't you?
Yep.
Just the general side about this, and most of this is just knowing how to get along with people, treat people with courtesy and respect. And that's really the key, just knowing how to get along with people. If you can't get along with people, you aren't gonna have a public service job. Well, you won't have it very long anyway. So, but you're on a year's probation,
here a
right?
while.
We've had all of you. Okay.
We've had those people, they're not here anymore.
Yeah, I understand that. There was a situation here a few years ago where some people left. It was bullying, harassment stuff, or,
Yeah,
We've had a couple of instances of it, yeah.
yeah. Well, you'll probably recognize a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about today then.
So,
This is my last session. I've been here for 4 days, so I've been doing two a day. One down in Bellingham and one up here in the afternoon. So I'm heading home today. So.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's fine.
and this is just some definition about basically just for the program, and it's different to everybody, professional work environment and what professionalism is, but it's just that working relationship you have with each other. And then with your clients and the community that you serve. Do y'all agree you're in a fishbowl occupation?
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah, yeah, just like, I didn't tell you before here, before this, I worked for the superintendent of public instruction, they oversee the public schools. I was the director of there, I would equate it to an internal affairs department for law enforcement. I'd receive complaints on school teachers. And I had 4 investigators, and we'd go out and investigate, and then we had the authority to suspend and revoke their teaching certificates. So I did that for 10 years, and then before that, I was on the state patrol for 29.
Oh.
So I worked a lot with the fire department. I packed my first assignment, but,
You worked at DJ's dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He
we
was
were,
doing that yesterday.
yeah, we were together in Eastern Washington. And that's where I grew up, Eastern Washington, in Spokane area. But, been with them for 29 years. In fact, I was on the Colfax, the volunteer fire department for about 2 years, never went on a call. They never called me. I mustn't have done very well in the training. But that was back in the 70s, so things have changed a lot. Yeah, you probably don't even remember the 70s, do you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
A couple days of it.
A little, yeah, a couple days of it. So anyway, that's it. So,
I do. Did you want me to
You're
add
all
that
quiet, and the fact that I said yes and you said,
in? You're older than me though. You're like early 70s. I was like early mid.
early mid-70s.
You were 79, weren't you?
Yeah, December 13th. of 70.
You're so close to 80s.
My children are older than you are.
That's why I don't remember much of the 70s.
My son, he's a lieutenant with the Olympia Fire Department, so I hear a lot of his stories too, so he keeps me informed.
Nice.
But anyway, let's move on. So you agree you're in a fishbowl occupation, and we're gonna talk about that today, how 24/7 the community knows who you are and expect to hold you to higher standards and expectations than the general community, so. Your organization, they have the right to maintain a safe and civil work environment. And that's your organization's responsibility, your management, your chiefs, what do you have, chiefs, deputy chiefs,
Chief, the assistant chief, and a division chief.
and then captains, and then lieutenants, and then firefighters, that's the way yours goes?
It kind of all revolves around the captain.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Oh, I agree.
yeah.
No, you
We're not,
aren't.
it's not on.
No,
It doesn't matter anyway.
Anyway,
It all revolves around the captain.
they recorded this yesterday. As
Oh,
far as I know, they aren't today. No, the chief was here and he set it all up and they recorded the program yesterday, but not today, so. Good observation.
I didn't see any red lights anywhere. So.
Yeah. What we do here is, what's professionalism to you in the workplace? One word. It's different to everybody. What do you think? Some characteristics of those professional traits that are important in a workplace.
Courtesy,
Pardon?
courtesy.
Absolutely. Courtesy and respect. That's a start. That's the baseline, you bet. That's where it all starts. Anything else?
Well, professionalism is a skill, the word that's already up there.
Yeah. Courtesy, respect, communication. Anything else you can think of?
I know I'm thinking, I mean,
No, what you're doing is trying to figure out if those guys are convex or concave. Because I know you. That's what you're thinking right now.
I think I'm a little both, actually.
They're convex, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They wrap, yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of
Plural or Yanni?
We'll cover a lot of
Just tell me.
them, but, you know, courtesy, respect, go ahead.
No, it's-
All that's going through, cycling through my head is the, you talk about fishbowl environment but we're also a very unique culture.
No, absolutely, most definitely.
And to defining professionalism amongst us is one dynamic, whereas if we were working as a cashier or a courtesy clerk at the grocery store, professionalism is different
Oh, yep,
because of the culture, the environment,
yeah.
the nature of what we do and how we cohabitate.
Yeah. No, this is just referring to your occupation,
But
or in general.
In general,
Yeah.
and you said courtesy, correct? And I would say probably, and I don't know if that echoed respect, but that's, I think it starts there.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. And, you know, they've thrown out all things, you know, integrity, honesty, all this kind of stuff that goes hand in hand. We'll touch bases on some of this. How about this slide here, being that you're held to higher standards and expectations?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the position of public trust.
Yeah, and it's true. It was true for me in the state patrol, it's true for you in this public service, it's true for a lot of occupations, clergy, medical professionals. We have a lot of nonprofit organizations that are in the same boat. Just because you're entrusted with that public service of what the community depends on you. If they see, and like I say, it's 24/7. They see us doing things off duty that may question they start questioning our ability or our decision making off duty. They're thinking, gee, what are they doing on duty? You know, and a lot of it's just perception.
And all readily identifiable by the little red sticker in our back window or the personalized plates or anything
Yeah,
else.
t-shirts we wear. Yeah.
And I don't wear those every day. I fight what you fear.
You know, when I was in Colfax, there was only one place to go out, and that was the Elks Club if you wanted to go out. And I quit wearing my Smokey Bear hat when we were off duty. Half the people we arrested came out of the Elks Club. We never went to the Elks Club, not in Colfax. My wife and I'll tell you this quick story. When the light bulb went on here, how they watch you in Colfax. Have you ever been to Colfax? You know where it
I've
is?
driven through Colfax, maybe.
To
or-
Pullman.
Yeah.
Because you're a cougar.
No.
Don't say it like that. I am.
Stop. Stop.
What are you? Why are you writing to Colfax?
Stanford.
Stanford
I'm a tree.
Stanford, all right.
Don't talk about
You're
it,
a
don't.
tree.
I'm a tree.
Don't
You're a
start,
tree.
please.
Well, back to my topic. You three are gonna give me a bad time. I am a cougar. So anyway, live with it, all right? It's my class.
Okay,
Question
for all
is,
intents and
John was
purposes,
out of
okay.
town.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You visited the school with him. Didn't you visit Wazoo?
Yeah, no, not with Trey. I didn't visit with Trey. I
Oh.
didn't go.
Oh.
Troy went.
Oh.
But anyway, you
But
know.
I have been, yeah, I know where it
You
is,
know
yeah.
where it is. Anyway, my wife and I graduated from the academy, and I get sent to Colfax. Luckily, thank God, most of the new troops end up in the parking lot in Seattle on I-5. All the rest of us, when they get a year's probation, they'll transfer out of Seattle and leave. So that's where all the new troopers go out of the State Patrol Academy.
It's where my son-in-law is right now.
He a trooper?
He gets this week off and then next week he starts trooper basic.
Oh, really? Your son-in-law?
Mhm.
Oh, good. Well, congratulations. Tell him good luck.
I have several times.
He'll probably end up in Seattle.
We're hoping for Snohomish County.
Yeah, no, a lot of them come up here too. It's the I-5 corridor, most of them go
Yeah.
to. So, anyway, we move into Colfax, and it's in August or September, and we decide to have a little summer barbecue, invite some friends over, and then go to the Cougar game and watch them whip up on Stanford. They played them that year. My class, just quiet down. No response. That's the only way I can have fun. Anyway. So we go to, there's one grocery store in Colfax, and of course they know who I am because the white patrol cars are parked in my driveway. We have to take those home, so everybody figures out who you are. And what do you get for a summer barbecue?
Yeah.
Beer, absolutely. Then I got hamburger and stuff like that to go with it, but I picked up some beer. Long story short, we have the little get together, go to the football game. I go to work Monday morning. I was off that weekend. I sign in service in my driveway, and radio says, contact your sergeant at the office.
Good start.
I'm thinking, that's odd. So anyway, I'm on a year's probation. I've only been Colfax about 3 months. So I drive to the office and walk in, and, hey, Sarge, you wanted to see me? And he looked at me. He was trying to be real grumpy. He was an old salty guy at the time. But he says, Shrek, I got a complaint on you already. I said, Sarge, I wasn't even working. What did I do? You guessed it. Somebody complained that I was buying beer and setting a poor example for a state trooper in my community.
Wow.
No, I mean 24/7 they're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the point of the whole
Man,
thing.
Chris, you set a lot of bad examples.
Yeah,
A lot.
Just her day.
But I didn't get in trouble, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Sarge said, hey, it's just an eye opener,
Yeah.
be aware they're watching you, and next time we had a party, my wife went to the store and I stayed home. I didn't go out much and go back. Only about
You go
25.
get the beer.
Yeah, only about 25. In fact, the population signs still say the same as when I was there, so. But this is true. If you have a negative impact on you or your organization, you can be disciplined for it. Well, you've probably seen how many Seattle police officers have been fired for posting on social media,
Yeah.
inappropriate posts, discriminating against people, slight remarks about the department, stuff like that, and they get fired for it. Teachers, I know a lot of teachers have been fired over the same thing, especially communicating with students over Facebook, their personal Facebook, not the schools. But anyway, be careful. Social media, play at your own risk, they say. Hit that send button, you better know darn well where it's going. Good luck. Workplace ethics. I've got a phone, that's about all I do with it. And I only, because I
Me too.
travel.
Yeah, you don't have any social
I
media.
have no social media.
And these are just rules of behavior, what's morally good and morally bad. And here's 10 golden rules. This guy, Darryl Brown, he's got a PhD in business administration. But these go right along. 90% of these is what everybody's brought up in these sessions about what's important in the workplace. Strive for excellence, trustworthy, be accountable for your actions. You know, we all screw up once in a while, right? I know firefighters don't. We did all the time. No.
Correct.
I just try and keep it to less than 10 a day.
Yeah, we had this one trooper, the sergeant said, I try to keep, Jack Brasington was his name. The sergeant says, I try to keep him from committing only one misdemeanor a month when he's off duty. It was just a joke, he wasn't that bad, but he was always screwing up. Be accountable, be courteous and respectful. Honest, open, and transparent. These are all good traits for professionalism. Competent, always trying to improve yourself. Be ethical, honorable, act with integrity. Respectful of your confidentiality. You have a lot of confidential information at your disposal, don't you? Yeah. Be respectful of that. And just set good examples in the community. You've heard all this stuff before, but these are just reminders. And this whole program is just risk management. You know, we do things like this, maybe think about things that we do on and off duty, or maybe if we did it this way, we're putting, especially yourself, putting yourself and the organization at less risk. Things to think about. This is my favorite quote. John Wooden, remember John Wooden? You should know John Wooden coming from Stanford.
Oh, no, I didn't go to Stanford.
No, I know you didn't, but you root for him.
I do.
Yeah.
You notice how quickly he picked up on that, too.
You had me believing you came from Stanford. All right. No, John Wooden, he was the UCLA basketball coach.
Yeah.
And he used to, and if you ever want some good quotes, he's got this pyramid of success. Have you ever looked at that?
It's pinned on a locker in one of our dorm rooms.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Anyway, he liked to be called a teacher rather than the coach, but this is one of his more famous quotes, and it's and he used to tell his players, be more concerned about your character rather than your reputation. Your reputation is just what people think of you. But your character is what you do when there's nobody around. That tells who you really are. And we all know who we are, I guess, when nobody's around. But he said, be more concerned with your character. Management's role, your organization, your management, they're under the courts of rule, they're responsible for maintaining a safe and civil work environment. They do it through hiring practices, standards, policies, all kinds of things. Orientation, probation periods for new employees. And then they set policies, procedures, expectations, job descriptions. And then hopefully confront problems early. That's the big thing too, if you let things fester. I understand that last big situation you had went on for a couple of years, didn't it?
Which one do you speak of?
Huh?
Which one?
Oh, I don't know. Where a couple of people had to step down, there was bullying or something going on, or intimidation. I don't know, something
It
like
lasted
that.
longer than
Huh?
It lasted probably longer than a couple of years.
Yeah. Anyway, it's stressful for everybody. Employees, responsible for knowing all of the policies, procedures, workplace climate, how you accomplish your tasks. Attitude or aptitude, what do you prefer? If you had to pick one. They're both important, but if you had to pick, they're both equal, you had to pick somebody with a good attitude or aptitude, who would you pick?
Rather have someone with a good attitude.
Yeah.
That can be taught. than
Yeah.
Someone who's skilled.
Yeah.
I do like your attitude.
Attitude, aptitude, yeah, they're both important, it'd be good to have both, but a lot of times, you know, you have to pick one or the other.
You've got a great attitude, Chris.
Your aptitude, on the other hand.
Aptitude's questionable, huh? Then our core value, that shapes our civility, and that's just how we treat each other. Here's a list, or kind of a listing of just some things that can go on in the workplace that are, bring an organization down on professional conduct, stuff like that. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
What?
I've done all those before lunch today.
Before 11 this morning?
Yeah.
You must come in early.
I was here yesterday.
Oh, so this is your second day?
No, we missed.
You all came in shift this morning, right?
Yeah,
On duty?
I worked, but we had a call, so we missed your class yesterday.
Oh, you're the one that deserted me here, huh?
I did.
Yeah, I only had 2 here show up yesterday.
Yeah.
In fact, the others took off right after I got here, headed for Canada. Why are you going to Canada?
Point
We
Roberts.
were discussing that
Oh,
on
Point
the way
Roberts.
here.
I did a training over at Point Roberts.
Yeah, so we meet them halfway in Canada and take their patients the rest of the way to the hospital.
Yeah, so they bring them down to Bellingham?
No, we did.
We do.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bring them down to Bellingham,
Yeah,
you
so
meet
they
them
have to go
halfway.
up to, what exit, you live there?
Checkpoint Bravo, Delta,
Yeah.
Ladner.
Wow.
Yeah, so we
They
go.
go that far?
Yeah, there's
So
a
we
fire
go like
station.
20 miles
Chilliwack.
into Canada, get
No,
the
Chilliwack
patient,
is
and
the
then
other
turn around
direction.
and go.
Chilliwack's
this way.
Chilliwack's
It's
east.
not quite
No,
this
it's
one.
the Port Moody.
No, it's not. Port
That's-
Moody's
there's a
across the
salt semi- There's a
bridge.
salt semi on there right now.
Yeah, the decal is faded.
It always is.
Yeah.
So then they go, so they have, and then go all the way to Bellingham.
And then you go, there's a
And then back.
Yeah, that's why he said we won't be back.
Oh, there'll be
This
2
side of the
hours
freeway,
at
the fire
least.
station right there.
No, I went to
The other side of the
Point
freeway.
Roberts about 2 years ago.
Ladner.
That's what I said first.
Well, it did, I got this email about this scheduled workshop over at Point Roberts, the fire district. And I thought,
Wait, what?
the heck is Point Roberts?
Long
I
have
never heard of it.
I've lobbied for years to do a straight swap and give BC Point Roberts and we'll take White Rock, but no one's listening to it.
Yeah.
Just give Point
Yeah.
Roberts.
Anyway, I did find Point Roberts. I've never gone through customs so much in one day.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
Just 4 times.
But anyway, it was kind of cool over there. I'm gonna show you this video. This is a bullying video. About 5, 6, 7 minutes, something like that. And it's about bullying. Bullying, they say now, is more common in the workplace than sexual harassment. And there's no laws against bullying, except unless it would rise to the level of, I guess, felony harassment where somebody's in fear of their life. But there's bullying laws in our state, but it just deals with student bullying in schools and what the school's responsibilities are. So take a look at this and then we'll move on. Let me know if this isn't loud enough.
Strange but true. 3
Yeah, loud enough?
FBI agents are now being fired because one gave a Three Stooges-style noogie to a federal prosecutor. Now, as ridiculous as that case sounds, workplace bullying is no laughing matter. It's growing at such an alarming rate that lawmakers are getting involved, and researchers say that the emotional toll is costly to the employee and also to the business. Here's more from our Chris Paul.
You've seen it in the movies. Pick up my shirt, Monica, and then go get Patricia. And according to a new survey, nearly 40% of American workers have witnessed workplace bullying in real life. Ruth was bullied at work, fought back, and was put on administrative leave.
She would follow me in the hall, she would follow me to the bathroom. It really became a large harassment.
That's when she started the Workplace Bullying Institute to get people talking.
I had no one to talk to. I had no one that understood. It goes on, but it's not recognized. People need to become aware. They need to become aware this is happening because it's kind of a silent epidemic.
72% of bullies are bosses, and women are more likely to be victims than men. But women can be bullies too. And those who are 2.5 times more likely to target their own kind over a man.
When women bully other women, they do it because these women are a threat to them.
But there's been progress. Anti-bullying legislation has been introduced in 13 states since 2003.
Is more common than sexual harassment. Bullying is not against the law, and because it's under the radar, people get away with it. My guest is our workplace contributor, Tori Johnson. Good morning, Tori. Good morning. So many people are wondering, what is the difference between someone really being tough as a boss or down and out bullying?
It's an important distinction because the reality is a boss has every right to criticize your work, complain about your performance, get angry when you're repeatedly late. So those things on their own, don't constitute bullying. It's when, however, the words and actions of a boss, of a coworker, of anyone that you work with, are intended to harm you professionally by being humiliating, embarrassing. When there's an attempt to embarrass, humiliate, intimidate you, really with an effort to undermine or enable you to suffer professionally. So it goes beyond just simply being critical of somebody. It's way beyond being critical.
But some people might not understand that distinction. They might just think that somebody's being really tough on them.
That's right.
And they might not grasp the severity of it all.
That's right. And it's often the way in which someone chooses to be tough on you.
Give us an example.
Sure. So, I could, for example, if I were to exclude you from an email distribution, one, that's probably an oversight. I didn't mean to do it. If, however, I repeatedly exclude you from meetings, from emails, withholding information from you that I know you need in order to do your job effectively, that's a bully tactic. If we are in a meeting together and you say something, there's a couple of reactions. One is I can smirk and sort of say, unbelievable, and turn my face at you. I don't have to agree with what you say, but the way that I respond to you often determines am I just being rude, meaning that's not a great idea, or if I make a smirk and say, you moron, and I try to belittle and embarrass you, where'd you come up with that ridiculous idea? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a difference. So you don't have to agree with somebody's ideas. You don't have to support their way of thinking, but the way in which you respond often is an indicator of, am I just being rude and dismissive of you, or is it a bully tactic?
And people do this more than we think.
So much more than
Yeah.
I think. Nearly 40% of workers say that they have been bullied. What that tells me is that's a lot of people, and it means that other people are witnessing this. And so not only are there some steps that you can take to sort of stop a bully in his or her tracks, and I say his or her because the majority of bullies are actually women, so we tend to think of the bully as the man.
Really?
But women are big bullies, and so it's important that you either stop them in their tracks. If you're somebody who is witnessing a bully, you know in your workplace if there's somebody who's sort of like the office bully, and that person typically has one or two targets that they always go after. Speak up, say something. You see something, say something. Help to be a part of the solution.
What happens if the bully is your manager?
If the bully is your manager, there's still a lot of very specific things that you can do. Whether it's a manager or a coworker, one is if you feel like you can maintain your composure, try to nip it on the spot. And by that I mean when somebody starts in with you and starts saying those things, talking to you in a manner in which is just totally unacceptable, you can say, please don't speak to me that way. I am professional and cordial to you, and I expect the same in return. Most bullies bully because they can.
Yeah.
And once they're called on it, many studies show that they stop. They're embarrassed themselves to have been called on it. But if they're never called on it, they keep on doing it. And when you don't call them on it, you in many ways are giving them permission to continue doing it.
What happens if it just doesn't let up?
If it doesn't let up, which often happens.
Yeah.
If it doesn't let up and you feel like you've done everything possible, you've documented it, you've talked to everybody, often at the end of the day, it means getting a new job. If you feel like your mental health and your self-esteem are in jeopardy, it's time to look for a new opportunity. It's much easier to look for a new job than it is to subject yourself every single day to that kind of torment.
And a lot of people experience this. I'm glad we're shedding some light on this because I think this is something that even people, if they're being bullied, they don't want to talk about it.
That's right. That's right. There's a stigma to it because you're worried that you're being seen as a tattletale, or you're thin-skinned, or you're being petty, and nobody wants to be any of those things. So you tend to think, oh, maybe it's just me. But if you sense that you're feeling that, oh, maybe it's just me, and you see that some of these symptoms that we're talking about are evident in your trying to make you feel that way.
Indeed, well, touring is always connected to our
Any comments on that? Anything sound familiar?
No, I really got stuck on the grammatic side of things, that their own kind. Like, women are different species. Did you hear that line?
No.
Yeah, she said women are 2.5 times more likely to bully.
Oh, their own
their
kind.
Their own kind, yeah.
Wouldn't it be persons of the same gender?
Bully fellow women.
Yeah,
There's a lot of other lines that.
Their own kind.
Yeah.
It's a different species.
Yeah. Some of the terminology, I guess, has probably changed over the years.
Yeah. But all
That video looks like it might be a little bit older though. When was that video from?
Well, the year of it?
Mhm.
It's not that old.
Oh, it's not?
It
No,
wasn't that long ago.
Oh.
Bullying's.
yeah, it's not that old,
Yeah, 'cause
really.
we were never bullied.
I think it's within the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look, I could pull it up and look up the date, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
then I should have known by the coffee cup. She had the same
I
coffee
was
cup.
gonna say, this is a Starbucks coffee cup.
Oh my gosh, do not spill
I
that
don't
on
think
your
that's
face.
Starbucks.
She had the exact
She
same.
had the
coffee
exact same cup in the video.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
From 06, so it was at least after 06.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Well, that's not bad.
I also used to be a detective.
All right. Let's touch base on sexual harassment and then a few other things. We'll wrap this up in about 15, 20 minutes. So, sexual harassment defined, it must be unwelcome and of a sexual nature. Basically, that's the definition of it. We'll get into it a little more, but the bottom line on sexual harassment, and it's the easy way to remember it, it's how it's received. It's not the intentions by anybody. You can have the best intentions in the world. And if you're offending somebody, third-party offenses, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter. And I'll give you an example of, you remember Governor Lowry, all of you? Yeah, he was our governor. For a while in the State Patrol, I was assigned, I was a supervisor, it's called the Executive Protection Unit. You're assigned to the governor and their family for security. And I worked under Gardner and Lowry for a period of time, but Lowry was sued for sexual harassment by his press secretary, Suzanne Albright. I don't know if you remember that or not. It was in the papers, all over the papers. So I'm not telling you anything that wasn't in the papers. But unwelcome and the intent, and he was sued. He ended up paying her $95,000 and didn't run for re-election, obviously. He gave up. But he went to court, and we were subpoenaed in to testify against him, his security detail, because we saw a lot of stuff that was going on. And I told my wife, I said, you know, I'm not gonna lie to this guy. And we all went in there, and as far as I know, I guess everybody told the truth. But when went to court, and he told the judge, you know, he got up and he wanted to testify and beat his own drum, I guess. But he told the judge, he said, I'm just a touchy sort of person. I hug people when I meet them. I give them hugs, put my arms around them, and you know, he was just making an excuse, but I think he was, I'll leave my opinions out of this. Personal opinions on the side. Anyway, and the judge, the courtroom just started laughing. But the judge looked at him after he went through all of this rigmarole, and the judge says, Governor, keep your hands to yourself, touch yourself. and the courtroom just started cracking up.
Yeah.
And I think he could have about crawled off the witness stand. He was so embarrassed. But anyway, it's the intent. It's how it's received. It's not the intention. If they're bad and offending somebody, that's what matters. It's usually frequent and severe. I could make one rude comment that might be considered sexual harassment. That's not necessarily sexual harassment. However, it could be so over the top. It could be considered one comment or a gesture is all it might take. But usually it's frequent and severe. It's got to be repetitive, just like bullying. Must be of a sexual nature, must be unwelcome to by somebody, and it must be pervasive and so offensive that it alters their work environment. And the other thing that's changed in sexual harassment too, it used to be that if I was sexually harassed or any one of you were, the first person, the investigators and people would ask, did you put the person on notice that they were offensive? But the courts found out, and so the investigators, not everybody has that in their character to stand up to somebody, right? Not everybody can do that. And so it was kind of a useless requirement because some people can't do that. So the requirement is that you must report it to somebody, but you don't have to take on or confront the aggressor. Not everybody can do that. So that's changed over the years legally.
It changed to meet the reasonable person's expectation,
Right.
I think is the language. Because
Yeah.
when we used to go through this class, that was, or similar classes, that was, did you identify that they had crossed that threshold?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it used to be that the instructions, you're exactly right. The instructions would go to the jury, would a reasonable person find this offensive? Well, wait a minute. The victim's a female or a male and the jury's just the opposite. So how does a male know what's offensive to a female?
Right.
So they've changed it now. If the victim is a female, they'll say, would a reasonable female find this offensive? Or if it's a male, would a reasonable male? In fact, complaints, sexual harassment by males now has been going up because more women are getting into administrative levels and things like that and harassing.
I was gonna know more on like, no.
Yeah. We had,
You what?
well, quite a while ago, we had a female attorney, I think it probably was before both of you, that came in and her specialty was workplace harassment and like.
Yeah.
And her, you know, I think that was before the law changed where you had to, because at that time you had to identify.
Yeah.
And she used language and I can't remember what it was something like, you can say, and she dropped a colorful metaphor, I think the F word, but don't call me baby.
Oh, really?
And she dropped, you know, because that was her trigger, but you could cuss like a sailor around her and she had no compulsion about that.
No, she was here, I saw her.
You saw her?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody's got their triggers, everybody's got their buttons, and if you know which ones to push, you know, you can really set people off. But yeah, it's a big issue nowadays, big issue. And there's different types of conduct, can be verbal and written, or written, sexual harassment, can be physical, nonverbal. And that's the thing about bullying and sexual harassment, you can harass somebody or bully them without saying a word. Just your body language. You can do both. You can sexually harass people and bully them, and just your body language and how you conduct yourself around them and things like that. Posters, drawing, watch your screensavers. At OSPI, when I was with the superintendent of public instruction, we had some director upstairs, and anyway, he'd gotten pretty deep doo-doo because of the screensaver he had on his computer. Quid pro quo, you all know what that is, right? Something for something.
Something for something.
Yeah, you do this for me, I'll give you a better evaluation, we'll give you a vacation time, or give you a promotion, give you the good assignments. And then creating a hostile work environment. That's just where it alters their work environment, it interferes with their work, they don't want to come to work anymore, sick leave goes up, productivity goes down, hostile work environment. Factors to consider in sexual harassment, bullying, and first of all, you have to look at your leadership, because your leadership in the organization, they set the whole tone. It's either zero tolerance or it's not. You can't have it halfway. You can't have, well, that's okay this time, we'll overlook it. No, it's not the way it works. And it happens to somebody else, well, you're going to overlook that one or you're not going to overlook it. It's got to be one way or the other. So your leadership needs to set the tone. And then rarity, and that's in your occupation here in firefighters, when the dominant or opposite gender joins a dominant group, just like you have. I remember the days when they hired the first female trooper back in the late 70s. One female trooper with 800 male troopers, and she wasn't treated very well. And I'll be the first, I admit, hey, back when the way I grew up, a baby boomer, and I didn't think a female would survive out there in a patrol car by herself, because we don't have partners. And it was our mind thought, that's how we grew up. It was a male's job to be out there. But times have changed. Patrol, I can't tell you now how many troopers and supervisors and administrators they have in the patrol. You have, how many are in here? 2 of you?
I'm not an actual firefighter. I'm not a firefighter.
Oh, I
No.
thought you were.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Weird. No.
What are you? What do you do?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you
Nobody
were.
really
I'm
knows
sorry.
that. That's good. Then we're getting into some good
No,
stuff.
Say it to the camera.
Whatever.
Say it to the camera.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
that's fine.
Oh, no, what's your position then?
My position title is Health and Wellness Coordinator.
Oh, okay.
So I do a combination of physical training, physical testing,
Oh,
human
good.
resources. I kind of, it's like a bridged
Can you say the word resources one more time?
it's not like Sawyer House.
It's resources.
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 It's not, definitely
You
not.
added a Z in there.
It's not like
Okay.
open.
R-E-Z-O-R.
But no, all right, I just assumed you were a firefighter.
Now it's
So,
bull.
all right.
No, I
Has
Thank
most of
you.
the qualifications.
She can-
I do
she
have
can
them.
do rehab.
I can.
Really,
I am an EMT.
Really well.
But anyway, rarity, you know, it's like when females go into the military. And it's also like when males start going into the nursing occupation. Where my wife was a flight attendant, she's retired now too, she was with American Airlines. But when males started becoming very common as flight attendants, they were harassed and intimidated a lot by the females. They didn't want them in there, but it goes both ways. But that's rarity, and that's just a term they use in sexual harassment, bullying
Yeah.
scenarios. And then it goes back to priming, and this goes back to your administration. If this is going on in your workplace and they know about it and they don't do anything about it, they're priming it. They're saying it's okay to go on in our organization.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything about it, and it just becomes pervasive through the whole organization and gets out of control. So those are just some factors. Managing conflict. You have any conflict in the organization?
No, I have a big wok, steel wok.
Yeah?
We fix all the conflict right away, don't we, Christopher?
I agree with everything you said.
Well, some of these things you'll probably remember from the situations you went through. But increased tension in the workplace when you were dealing with all this stuff in the past. Sick leave goes up. People become aggressive, passive aggressive. Productivity may be affected. We like to think of conflict as constructive conflict. Remember we talked about attitude and aptitude? Try to get our attitudes to think of it in more of a constructive, we can get something out of this conflict. Change policies, procedures, training, different things, and make it a positive thing. Learning, what do they call that? Teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
Constructive conflict are just some things that demonstrate that. Let me get that little arrow out of there. People can mutually agree on things, disagree and still work together, respect, and a lot of these things are those professionalism. But the thing when we're working on conflict, and it's more important to save that relationship, somehow agree to disagree or find win-win solutions, rather than I get my way, you don't get your way, and we lose that working relationship. And you get nothing out of it then. There's got to be a better way. Constructive conflict, people listen. There's some examples of behaviors that demonstrate that constructive conflict. People feel safe, respected, and they can still work together and solve these issues. Of course, destructive is just the opposite. Rumors, gossips, cliques form, people become defensive, gossip, stressed out. Here's some causes of it: age, culture, experience. This is where they start pointing at the millennials in those other sessions they were in there. They all went right around and started pointing at him when we talked about age. Culture, our experience, our values and beliefs. These are all, things that can cause conflict in the workplace. We're all different. And then organizational conflict. All your changes, policies, procedures, limited resources. And then even more, they say people's needs and the way we communicate can create a lot of conflict. Our body language. Have you ever asked anybody about your body language? Talk to somebody you trust? We talked a lot about body language when I went through the State Patrol Academy, because you're intimidating enough in that patrol uniform. A Smokey Bear hat, you got guns on, bullets, handcuffs, maybe a baton hanging off of you and stuff, and then you walk up to somebody's car, act like Clint Eastwood or something, it just made You didn't want to add fuel to the fire.
And you must have started when the height minimums were still in place.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I walked into the Spokane office back when I applied, and I told them I'd like to apply, and they called back, and this big lieutenant came out, and he looked at me, and he said, "What's your name, young man?" And I said, "Well, my name is Charlie Schreck." And he says, "Good, step over here." First thing he did was measure me.
Mhm.
And you had to be over, I was 6'1", a little over 6'1" at the time, I'm shrunk now. And he said, "Okay, you can apply." My cousin went in 3 days later, he had his bachelor's degree, he was 5'11". They wouldn't even talk to him.
What was the height?
He had to be over 6 feet tall when I hired on.
Really?
Because they've now gotten rid of it because they got
Kind of
sued.
straight.
Yeah, it was considered, well, I can't, the term is escaping me, but, we're biased, it's.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Because you don't see a great number of Hispanics, minority bias, there's not
Yeah.
a lot of 6-foot Hispanics.
Yeah, yeah, it was challenged, and they
Yeah.
lost it in
Yeah.
court. You can't say that somebody 6'1" is a better trooper than one that's 5'11".
Right.
Prove it to us. And they couldn't. It was just a thing back then that, but you know, I knew a lot of guys that tried to get on, and they were just under 6 foot, and they wouldn't even talk to them.
Which is part of that posture, I mean, that's more of that intimidating
Yeah.
factor.
Now, my wife's occupation,
It's the other way around.
she was a flight attendant, they have to be, they can prove, for safety concerns, they have to be over a certain height, because they have to be able to reach the safety equipment that's up in the bins and stuff,
Yep.
Can you be too tall?
and they
or
can
too-
prove it.
Can you be too tall?
I don't know, I don't think so. But no, they could justify their height requirements, state patrol could, yeah. Here's just an example of some needs at work that some people need. People need different things at work, not they can't get everything, but they do have needs at work.
Don't worry, my clothes are just cleared up.
And then being proactive in conflicting situations, the first place to look is at yourself. We want to make it constructive, how are you contributing to it? In a positive or negative way. You're the only one you can control. Being proactive. Look at the workplace climate. So knowing yourself in conflicting situations is the first key. Gaining control. Getting in control of your emotions, your stress, being able to control yourself. Know what pushes your buttons so you can control yourself and things.
Should have brought my daughter.
Don't you have that sense?
Here's some key, just some tips on conflict resolution. Relieve your stress. Try to stay relaxed and focused. Recognize and manage your emotions. Know your nonverbal communication skills, how you come across. And I like to use a little humor once in a while, if you can, if it's appropriate.
Oh, shoot, with the other person, not at them.
Oh, not when they walk.
Laugh with them, not at them,
Totally
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I laughed at him this morning.
A lot of people laugh at me with the best of this.
Oh no.
You took a picture.
I took a picture to send to my son to laugh at you.
What's it done?
Well,
I crashed.
he crashed. He has a
Oh.
motorized scooter.
Oh,
But when you were over the other day, when we heard you going down the road, we said at some point he's gonna bail really hard.
I had a piece of
And you
plastic
did.
and washed the front end completely out, right in front of Rock Shop.
On the way home from Overflow.
And it turns out,
Everybody asked me, were you drunk? No, I was completely sober.
and it turns out he can't run 14 miles an hour.
I tried for 2
You
steps.
tried, yeah.
I tried, and
I'm kidding.
my,
Right on Main Street.
it was dead in front of the school. Nobody was out. There was no cars, and when my upper body was headed much faster than my feet were to the ground, I said, let's tuck and roll, because I didn't want to just Superman myself down the road. But I did try to, I made a mental, oh, I got a text. I made a mental note that I was gonna run first. See? Just talked about in this class.
We're laughing with you.
You're laughing right at me.
We're laughing with each other.
I'm laughing with you.
The redhead?
And you're laughing too.
I'm not laughing, I'm offended.
Not.
This is constant, this is how I live my life.
Alright, well, here's some tips in relieving the
Please give me some,
conflict.
thank you.
Conflict, make the relationship your priority,
Hey, you
okay?
guys are my priority.
Be respectful,
Second.
listen to their viewpoint, focus on the present, that's a big thing. Learn from the past, leave the garbage at home. Don't bring up the past, it's over. Pick your battles, is it worth it, your time and energy? Forgive and move on, and just let things go. Know when to let things go and get on with your life. Help employees focus on it, be constructive, not reactive. Quick thing on communication, 5 tips. Have you ever been talking to somebody and they're on their iPhone all the time, punching and doing things? Yep. Active listening. That's not active listening.
I can do
Set aside distracting thoughts, focus solely on the person you're speaking with, good eye contact, and good nonverbal skills. Value dissenting opinions. And we all have opinions, doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but you can value somebody's opinion. They may be trying to get to the same goal you are just because they have a different way of getting there. Listen to their opinions. Watch your cues. How do you present yourself? This is your body language. And contribute proportionately. Do you or others monopolize meetings or conversations? You might scale back if that's the case and let others share their ideas too. Speak only what you know is true. Leave the gossip, rumors, everything else out of it. Just harms the organization. Okay, take a piece of paper. Got a little test here for you.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. There's no way you can fail this.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm going to show you a statement, and I want you to write down what you see. It'll be up there for 2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
No, see, this is fun. You'll enjoy it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Write that down. It's gone. Everybody got it? What'd you write?
I walk in the park.
What'd you write?
Oh, walk in the park.
What'd you write?
The Eskimo went down the escalator. I didn't understand. No, I wrote a walk in the park.
Okay. You caught it.
There's too good?
In 4 days, you're the second one that has caught
Yeah,
it.
but that's totally typical for
Yeah, he's
him.
a crazy
No.
OCD.
He
Who was
what?
the other person?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh.
It was the second day here. I can't remember. I'd have to go through. I can't
Oh.
tell you. 99% of the people write it just like you. I had to look at that slide about 3 times to pick it out of there. But you look at it just to walk in the park.
Well, now I see the.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you were massively OCD.
But your mind, your subconscious does that.
Yeah.
When you're talking or listening to somebody, your subconscious is constantly throwing stuff out that it deems unnecessary, that you don't need.
Yeah.
Your subconscious does it, you don't even realize it. But that's where active listening comes in. You really have to sit down. You do reports and interview people and stuff, right? Yeah, and you really have to, our detectives used to go through all kinds of stuff. I never was a detective in the patrol, but I wouldn't have made a detective.
They say actually you can write out a sentence and pick arbitrary words and put the first and the last letter, but take all of the middle out.
Uh-huh.
And people will automatically fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And pick up the correct word.
Well, that has a lot to do with that speed reading stuff that they do. I know they're just glancing at the words and just picking stuff out. Anyway, that's a fun thing. Try it with somebody you know. But yeah, most people, it's a walk in the park. I wrote it, like, say, 3 or 4 times, and they said, look again. So finally, I took each word at a time. But know your communication skills. If you're in conflict, speak to who you're in conflict with. Sooner the better, and at a comfortable location. Simple. Recognize problems, engage in them, intervention, question, specify questionable behavior, confront conflict when it occurs. Documentation. I can't tell you in my career in the State Patrol and at OSPI and testifying in court situations, how many times I've heard judges say, if it's not documented, I have a hard time believing it happened.
Yeah.
Understand documentation and report it. Last thing, recognize problems that may challenge your professionalism. Be self-analytical about yourself and don't tarnish your own professionalism. You can stay professional even when other people aren't. Take the high road. Help others that may not get it, report concerns. Questions? I'm done.
Where?
The University, Kelly.
Wow.
The Kelly School of Business,
Kelly School of Business.
my
Yeah.
school of business.
That's all I have.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We went a little over an hour, sorry about that. No, you were late getting here.
Me?
Yes.
No, all of you were late.
Oh.
She was.
Yeah.
Whatever, I was in between you guys on the road.
Kelly
Danny and
runs,
I were on time.
Kelly runs late.
It was nice to meet all of you. Good luck to you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I cut Chris off.